Hello, and welcome back to today's episode of Today in Quarantine. It's been a minute. This is the longest break I've had from doing Today in Quarantine because I haven't actually done it since Thursday, and now it's Sunday. So there's that. But also on Thursday, even though I did Today in Quarantine, I streamed to my personal YouTube channel instead of the Wells, so it only really streamed on Facebook. But if you want to go see it, check out my personal YouTube channel, and you can hear what happened on Thursday. But let's catch up since then. It's been a whole weekend. It's now Sunday afternoon, so that's a little bit wild, a little bit hard to believe. But like the whole weekend has just been such a rush. The things that have kind of been that I've been up to in the past couple days. My brother moved to a new apartment, so I've been helping him move and just kind of get his stuff and get across town and just helping him settle in. Which consequently, that was on Friday. Consequently, I beat my steps goal for the first time since having a Fitbit, and I got like 13,000 steps or something like that. And I climbed 45 flights of stairs in one day, according to my Fitbit. Because, yeah, my brother lives on the second floor now, so that was a lot of fun. Walking up and down stairs with heavy things. I am still sore now, 2 days later, and obviously a little bit tired as well. What else has been happening? So we had a drive-in church. Well, before we got to that, helped out yesterday with song service at another church Zoom, which again, I've actually kind of enjoyed doing that because I get to kind of pick songs that I know. That's the one upside for not singing with people. You can kind of say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this song," and everybody else is gonna learn it. But it shouldn't be too hard to learn, For example, there's a song called Christ for the World. It's number 370 in the hymnal. And it's the same tune as Come Thou Almighty King. Who knew? But it's a great little hymn, little nugget there. So we sang that, and I enjoyed doing that as well. The other thing that we did was we had a drive-in church service at College View Church this weekend. As we had the drive-in church service, I was it wasn't actually a church service, it was a praise and worship session. So I was in charge of that. It was actually a lot of fun to put together. We went on the theme of the Lord's Prayer, and each song was kind of related to one of the lines in the Lord's Prayer. We just had little readings and stuff in between. And yesterday it was pretty hot. It was like 90 degrees or something like that. And it was a little bit windy, so we were a little bit concerned about that. But it ended up being really good. The sun wasn't exactly shining. It was kind of sunny, but it was mostly cloudy. And the sun would have just been, one more thing like in your eyes type of thing to just kind of distract. So that went really well in terms of weather, and just everything else went really well. I actually really enjoyed doing that, and I think people were blessed. So praise the Lord for that. It's always good to, like I said, to be able to sing with people and make some music together. So I definitely enjoyed it. My mom says my mom said soar like an eagle, like golden eagle. For those of you who don't know, that was my Pathfinder club back in high school and middle school. The Golden Eagles. My mom says I'm still trying to understand a drive-in worship service. So what we had this weekend was we basically just had a praise team singing, and we did eight songs, and we sang, and we had one of the pastors also spoke for about 10 minutes, so that kind of gave a little bit more umph to it. The next thing that makes it a drive-in is that we had it in the parking lot. So we, as the participants in the service, were up. We're in the doorway of the church, and everybody's in the parking lot, kind of facing us. And the audio-visual team got some sort of hold on like an FM transmitter, and so all the music that we were making was being put into this FM transmitter, and then everybody just tuned their radio to this service or to this specific station. It was like 96.3 or something like that. And because you're all in 96.3, you're hearing what's coming through, and everybody's able to hear it from their cars. You don't even have to wind down your windows. So on a day like yesterday, where it was 96 degrees, you didn't have to, be in the heat. You could just enjoy it from your car, which is something I think the church can actually take away from this experience. I think there are a lot of things actually that we should adopt from this COVID-19 experience. Drive-in church services being one of them. It was pretty cool to have just a service in the car. I was not a participant in the last one that they had, but I was a participant in this one. And the last one that they had, it was really cool to just kind of sit and chill out and listen to the service. I mean, depending on where you're sitting, you can't really see what's happening, but you can hear it. You can kind of hear everybody. And then people like to honk and say like honk and be like, amen, or like honking for clapping or something like that. So it's very interesting. Yeah, it was a pretty good idea. I think if we can, I think it would be a really cool thing to keep doing. Yeah, very much like a drive-in theater. So if we can keep doing this type of thing, I think it would be a really cool addition to our church services. And yeah, but we're starting to go into the process of thinking about opening up, I think, at the church. And so I guess as time goes on, we'll get more details about that. But yeah, the things that, after all this, church is going to be a very different experience, I think, at least for a little bit, which will be sad. But what are the things that you could live without at church? I'm sure that there are some things that you're like, this thing at church, I don't really care for it. What are the things that you could live without? For example, I think that since everybody's kind of doing online giving right now for their tithes and offering, I think we could go without offering. Maybe. Although it does provide a chance for musicians to play like an offertory, which is often a nice little instrumental piece of music, and it's just like a meditative time. So there's that. But what could you go without at church? Could you go without the singing? I love singing at church. That's part of my personal style of worship. So can I go without that? I don't think so. Children's story, I think that's an important part of development for kids. Could you go without Sabbath school? Would you rather have church but no Sabbath school, or Sabbath school but no church? Kind of thinking about what you'd like to give up. And then if something was to disappear that you didn't want to give up, would you still go to church? Questions. The world will change in the next couple months. The world has changed in the last few months. And yeah. We are slightly a little bit more off track, but now our 7s are going to land for this episode. This is episode 78 because we missed 78 yesterday. But now our 7s are going to start landing on Sabbaths. See what I'm saying here? It's the 7th day is the Sabbath, you see? So that's going to be a great time. For us to do. It's the way God intended it. All right. So today's weather is very similar to how the last couple days have been. Hot and humid. Most of the nights in the past couple nights have had thunderstorms. I don't think there was one last night, but it's been very stormy. I was out and looking at my garden today, and all of my cucumbers, I think they're cucumbers. I think maybe a couple are squash. I don't really know. They're all like, they're huge. They're like this big, and not the cucumbers themselves, but the leaves are really big, and it's just kind of taking over my box. I was like having to hunt for spinach because I couldn't find it because the leaves were all covering it. And I had some cilantro in some of my lunch today. Excellent cilantro, nice and pungent, and just, mamma mia, some good stuff. So that leads us to our next segment of dad jokes. I've got my laugh track ready. It's actually ready this time. So hopefully this will work. What is the name of Kate's identical twin? Duplicate. Oh boy. Immigration officers, at the airport and whatever, they may not always agree with you, but they can see where you're coming from. Oh boy. What color is the wind? Blue. Like, blue. Get it? BLEW. That's okay. There you go. Yep. Oh boy. I'm thinking. I finally finished a huge book about the history of clocks. It's about time. Ah, boy. Why does a chicken coop only have 2 doors? Because if it had 4 doors, it would be a chicken sedan. Oh boy. That was pretty cheesy. As I've been kind of walking around town and biking around town, I noticed an upside down 6 the other day. And I thought, wow, that's odd. It's just 9, Oh boy. All right. Last one for today. What did the mama buffalo say to her baby buffalo on his way to school? Bye, son. Ah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. And with that, I also bid you adieu. Enjoy the jokes. Share them with somebody else today. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow in quarantine for another episode of Today in Quarantine. We'll see you later, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday.